Whether you've uploaded 100 videos to YouTube or you're trying to figure out how to upload your first video, this video is going to walk you through the new YouTube upload wizard. They've made some changes and I'm going to cover them all here, so stick around. This video is sponsored by tubetemplates.com. For affordable YouTube graphics, there's no better choice than tubetemplates.com. And right now, use promo code CFSAVE25 to get 25% off your entire order. All right, so once you're logged in to YouTube, you're going to have an option in the upper right-hand corner that looks like a little camera. You can click on that, and then you can click on Upload Video. This is where we're going to be introduced to that wizard. Now, if this is your very first video, this is going to look a little bit different. In fact, when you come in here, it may show you a little introduction message that, kind of invites you to upload your first video to YouTube. But otherwise, the process once you get into it is the same. So we see here, it says upload videos, and you can either drag and drop a video over this window, or you can click on select files. We're going to click on select files and find a video to upload. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to grab one of the presentations from my conference, People of Video, and we'll select Ross Brand today. We'll grab that video, click open, and it will start to do the upload. Now, a couple things to note about this screen. The biggest thing, if you've already uploaded videos, you'll notice that the wizard across the top has a new option. We're going to cover that when we get to it, but just know that this process has changed, and they've made some improvements that you may like, that may help you as a creator. There were some frustrating things that people experienced with previous uploads, and this aims to remedy some of those. So stick with the video. We're going to cover it, explain to you exactly what it means to you, and hopefully it will be a big improvement for your channel. So here on the main details page, this is where you're going to include your title and your description. Now you'll notice on mine, my description is already pre-filled somewhat, and it has grabbed the name, the file name as the title. Now, ideally, you want to do keyword research and come up with a title that people might actually be interested in. You're generally trying to look either for an exact string that people are searching for, like how to build an airplane or how to bake a cake. And there's a variety of different ways that you can learn how to find out what people are actually searching for. One of those options, of course, is TubeBuddy. You'll see here I have TubeBuddy installed. You can go over to trytubebuddy.today and get their free browser plugin that gives you a lot of tools that helps you come up with an appropriate title and things like that. But for this tutorial, we're not going to get too deep into what your title should be. Just know this is where you actually enter your title, and then up here you would come in and you would type in your description. Now, there's a couple things on this page that you can take note of. For one, as soon as you start uploading, you're going to see the status down here in the lower left-hand corner. Now, there's some really important things that you want to focus on with regards to the status, because a lot of people get confused. One of the most common questions or complaints that I see is people who upload their videos and then they complain that the video quality is not what it looked like when they made the video. And this is perfectly normal. This is what happens for everybody. And if you look down here at the bottom, you'll see there's an upload icon that shows you the percentage and how much time is remaining. And then you'll see this little square that says SD. What YouTube does is, when you upload a video, it makes different levels of quality available in tiers. So when you first upload it, it takes a lower quality version of your video, SD, standard definition, and makes that available pretty soon after you upload. From that point on, people can access the video once it's public in that standard definition. What YouTube will continue to do is process your video for a higher quality. So if you have HD and 4K, you've uploaded a 4K video, it's going to process the SD and get it available for that standard definition viewing by viewers. And then as it continues to process your video, it's going to make those higher qualities available. So at some point, you're going to be able to click on the resolution and get up to HD quality 1080. If you did, in fact, upload your 4K, you're going to be able to go even higher there. But YouTube does, in fact, make your video available at a lower quality in the beginning. So just know, if you see that, if you experience that it's not some problem with the upload process. That's exactly how YouTube intends it to work, and it's their way of getting the video out and available as quickly as possible without having it sit there for an hour, sometimes over a day to get some of those higher quality videos processed. So just know that that's completely normal. As you can see now that the upload has finished here in the bottom, now it says that the video processing has begun on SD quality. It's at 0%. As it continues to process that, you'll see that percentage go up. Once that gets to 100, then the video becomes available to publish if you wish to publish. So on the screen, we want to look at a couple other things. Again, this is the description. You move out of the description and you scroll down beyond the description and you'll see some other important areas. Here, right here is where you can upload your custom thumbnail. Now, once the video is initially processed, you're going to get some suggested screen captures here. Typically, in most cases, it's better to get an actual custom thumbnail made, and you can actually click here on custom thumbnail to upload that. We're not going to upload it at the moment, but just know that when you're ready to upload that custom thumbnail, this is where you'll put it. You'll also see that create a thumbnail from TubeBuddy is an option. TubeBuddy actually has a built-in thumbnail creator, so you can actually access it from here, but you have to wait until the video is processed in SD before that particular feature appears. So if you stay on the screen for a while and the standard definition completes its processing, then you'll have access to the create thumbnail. And there's also another way you can get back to it if you go through the entire wizard without setting your thumbnail. So keep that in mind. Playlists. Now, here's my recommendations is always to upload your video. Things can go wrong during the upload process, and I think that it's always best to focus on getting the video uploaded first before worrying about publishing it and doing all those things. For that reason, I will typically upload a video in unlisted. You can upload the video in unlisted or private, wait for the entire process to be complete, and then you can go in and edit the video, make sure your title looks good, make sure your thumbnail looks good, anything in your description you want to add or change, and make sure all of that is ready before you set it to publish. And we'll cover that in another couple steps here in the wizard. So stay tuned for that, and I'll show you exactly what that means. Other things here, you have to identify whether your videos are made for kids or not. Don't try to fool the system and pretend something is or isn't made for kids. Be as honest as possible, because YouTube's going to know, and they'll penalize you if they find out that you're misleading them. So, of course, my channel is not made for kids, so I set that to no. You also have an advanced age restriction down here if you are putting something on YouTube that should be restricted to viewers over 18. That is not what we do here on Creator Fundamentals, so I'm not worried about that. And then you'll see that there's a show more option down here. Click on that, scroll down. If you are including paid promotion like a sponsor or something in your video, you'll want to check this box, and we'll check that. That's how I normally upload videos with sponsorships, so you want to make sure that you do that. Tags are becoming less and less important here on YouTube. You've seen that they've hid them, and there's not a whole lot of evidence to the strength of the tags. Tags will typically support the title that you've chosen. Keyword research as a whole is definitely important, like I mentioned earlier, for the title, but the tags themselves have become less and less important. So I do tend to fill them in. I suggest that you can use a cool tool like TubeBuddy or Morning Fame to kind of create some relative tags to your title and include those in there as well. But just know, if you don't do tags, it's not going to be make or break for your video for sure. Down here we have languages. Some of my stuff is pre-filled because I've used upload defaults to save that. That's why my description was pre-filled. And if you're not familiar with upload defaults, be sure to check out the upload defaults video here on Creator Fundamentals, where I walk you through that and what upload defaults can do for you, and also some additional features that TubeBuddy provides in that upload defaults section. This stuff I don't typically, recording date and video location, don't typically find that super meaningful in the content. Standard YouTube license should be your standard. You have Creative Commons. Creative Commons suggests that other people can use the content. So I would say standard YouTube license should be the norm here. Allow embedding. These are default settings. I typically leave those as is. You want to decide what the category is for the content that you're making on your channel. In my case, it's educational content to help you grow your YouTube channel and develop passive income streams around your content. So we leave that on education. And then comments and ratings, you can be held accountable for the comments that are placed on your channel. So it's always a good idea to set this to hold potentially inappropriate comments. That prevents them from going public and allows you to go in and check them out. What I've found typically is the ones that it holds are probably 95, 98% legitimate comments that you don't want to have on your channel. So I don't always review every single one of them. There may be an occasional video or comment that gets caught up that shouldn't be, but generally speaking, they do a pretty good job on that. Show how many viewers like and dislike. You have the option of turning that off. Again, I'm all about full disclosure. Want to let everybody see what's actually going on. I typically leave that as well. And if you wanted to add a fundraiser to a video, you have that option here. Now we're going to move on to the next section of the wizard. We click next. If you have monetization on your channel, you can click on there and it will show you all the different ad types that exist here on YouTube. Sometimes people question which of these they should use and they're concerned about whether or not they should turn them on. Generally speaking, I include all the ads on my channel. Obviously, it's up to you. People seem to think that they'll get more watch time or they'll scare people away if they have ads, but I think that ads are the lifeblood of YouTube, and programming your getting your audience used to seeing ads, I think, is going to benefit you as a whole, because obviously you want longevity with your channel, and you don't want a channel that is not making any money, that doesn't encourage you to continue to make content, because this can be a grind sometimes. So we turned everything on here. We go next. Ad suitability. So YouTube in recent times, and this may differ from channel to channel, they've allowed certain creators to basically self-assess whether or not their content is suitable for ads, and they let you select it and then submit a rating. So this has changed depending on when you've uploaded last. This is kind of a change here that I'll show you. It gives you some information about the self-certification program. Up here, it tells me that I've been doing a good job of marking these things accurately. But then it goes into ad suitability. And if you've ever wondered what is suitable for ads and not, this wizard is actually a great way to kind of learn that. So it tells you inappropriate language, and it asks you to decide what the frequency is, if any of these things exist. And, adult content and shocking content, harmful, recreational drug use, hateful or derogatory, firearms, etc. And as you fill these out, it's going to tell you exactly whether or not your video is ad friendly. So if you answer this as honestly as possible, that's going to help YouTube understand that you are in fact able to self-assess, and you're going to be honest with them. And that starts to give you a little more credibility with YouTube to rate your own videos. In my case, I'm not including any of that stuff. You'll see now that this option on the right-hand side says that based on my selections, that it's safe for ads, and then submit rating. So we go ahead and submit our rating here. And that goes gray. We're good. And then this is the section that has shown up, and they kind of changed the way that this displays, and you'll see this check section is what they're calling it now. This section did actually exist in a slightly different form, but now they have this option over here where you actually submit your rating, and it helps you to, based on the check that YouTube does and how you've rated your own video, it tells you ahead of time whether or not your video is suitable for ads. And this is super powerful, because what used to happen is people would upload their videos and then they'd get that dreaded yellow monetization icon. The ads were limited, and they would potentially lose out on a lot of monetization in a situation where it wrongly identified their video as not suitable for ads. And for many big creators, the front end of their video is where they get tons, hundreds of thousands, millions of views. And if they spend that sweet spot of time with limited ads, then they're missing out on a big chunk of their revenue. So this particular section is kind of a blessing for everybody who has been struck with those yellow ad or, you know, ad restrictions, and YouTube has been doing a much better job at not wrongly identifying videos as not suitable for ads. And this is one more step in that process to make sure that you aren't wrongly identified as restricted or not suitable for ads. And I think that's a really great step for people. And again, this may vary a little bit depending on how new you are on your channel. Just know as you go through, you can start to get more of these features. So if it's your first video, just upload it, go through the wizard, keep hitting next, identify everything as honestly and accurately as possible. And then over time, some of these features may appear or give you additional options and flexibility when you're uploading. So then we're going to click next, and we see video elements. So we have video elements, and this is where we can add end screens and end cards. Again, this is something that I tend to do after the video is all uploaded. I don't typically do it through the wizard because it allows you to just get the upload done and then come back and do all your finishing touches after it is successfully uploaded. So then we're going to click next. And then on checks, I kind of misspoke earlier. Checks is actually a combination of ad suitability as well as copyright. So that first section was the ad suitability section of the checks page, but the checks actually also incorporates copyright. So what it does is it analyzes your video and makes sure that you're not using anybody else's video clips or anybody else's music, and that goes into this checks with the ad suitability that we just covered a couple steps back. The combination of those is now called this check section, and basically allows people to avoid those issues, either copyright or ad suitability limited, restricted ads before the video actually uploads. So again, the combination of those things is really going to help creators to not miss out on opportunities, because both ad suitability and copyright can impact your ability to make revenue on a given video. If somebody says, yeah, that's my copyright, give me all the revenue, or it's determined to not be ad friendly and no ads appear. So again, definitely a step in the right direction here for YouTube, and gives us a much greater opportunity to not have our videos dinged with any issues. Now, the last screen here, this is visibility, and this is where you can determine what the status is of your video when you upload. Like I mentioned, I always upload mine as unlisted, and I'll show you as soon as I save this what that means and where it goes and how you can get back into the video to make your changes. But here we have unlisted, double checks. Hey, did kids appear in this video? Looking for overall content guidance. And once we're good on everything, we can leave it as unlisted and click save. Now this is going to bring us into our video list. Now it used to be called video list. Now they call it content, but it is essentially your video list with some additional options up here like live and posts and stories. But our video that we just uploaded is up here at the top. Now you can come in and click on the pencil and get back into that video and get everything ready to actually publish it. Now, if you're doing end screens, we mentioned those earlier. What you would do after you have this uploaded is come over here to the editor, click into the editor. We're going to make sure that doesn't play. And then here is where you can add the end screen. So down here on the left-hand side, you can click that, and you can add a video as an end screen, and then you can pick the most recent video, best review, or pick select a specific video. And we just recently put out the YouTube Studio tutorial, which is a really helpful video for people. Now you can move these anywhere, you can resize them, and I definitely recommend getting some videos on your end screens to lead people into other content. Plus, you can click here and go to subscribe, and it actually puts the subscribe link on your end screen. So if you want to add a subscribe button to the end of your video, this is a great way to do it. And what happens is when they hover over this circle, it actually pops out a little box with a subscribe button in it that people can click and subscribe to your channel. So we're going to hit save. We're going to leave that there. And then we're going to go back to the video, click on the pencil, and take a look at everything. Now, once you're ready to go, you've uploaded your video, you can come back in here like I mentioned. You can go into the TubeBuddy thumbnail creator, and you can actually put something together, make a thumbnail, go through their entire process there as well, or upload your own custom video. You can select the playlists that you want. One thing to consider on the playlist, why I wait till this step, is because if you add your videos to the playlist in the wizard, but you leave your video unlisted, people can still see your videos in the playlist. So I don't recommend doing that. But once everything is good, we're good here. Here is that visibility again. We set it to unlisted. We are going to set this to public. We're going to hit done. And then when we hit save, that's when your video goes public to everybody on YouTube. And congratulations, if this is your first video, you've just uploaded a video. You're now a YouTuber here on the platform. And if you've been uploading videos, congratulations on continuing to show the consistency it takes to be successful here on YouTube. And hey, don't let the learning stop here. I'm going to put a couple videos on screen now that can help you continue your journey here on YouTube. And hey, that circle below me, it's a subscribe button. Hover over it, click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.